found yourself saying that, then this next segment is definitely for you. If you find that you are imprisoned behind the shackles of doubt, fear and confusion, pain and anger, grace is your pathway to pursuing the reason for which you were created. This is all we can truly hope for. Yes? Yeah. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Corner in here. I need some inspirational background music. Brooklyn, we are delighted to spend some time with you and can't be more excited for what is about to happen in your life. The fact that you are listening to this is no mere coincidence, but a divine appointment. Enter through the gates of grace and accept your position as an instrument of righteousness. Together we will climb life's mountains and reach the pinnacle of our destiny. From the immortal words of James Oyola and his book, Get Out of Your Own Way. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I'm so glad we finally got together.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you something. I met this young man we were at Hispanicize. Wonderful conference that happens every year here at the Intercontinental Hotel. And we were sitting next to each other and we just started chatting. And then we came to find out that we know a lot of people in common. And he you used to write for the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
He's a sports writer and he does a lot of different things that I'm gonna let him tell you about. But then we started talking about this book that he's working on, and it's almost finished. And when it's finished, I would love to come by and chat it up. And boom, here we are. Don't you love it?
I love it, actually, and I brought a copy for you.
Yay! Did you sign it?
Of course I did.
Yay! Get Out of Your Own Way.
No doubt.
Is the name of the book. Oh, thank you so much. So he and I were on the phone, and we were talking about the show and what we wanted to do, and I told him, I was like, you told me that by day you are.
So I'm a corporate trainer and director of quality assurance for a telecommunications company.
Okay, yeah. So then I said, that's a whole nother thing because right now, I find with so many scandals in the news, we've got Hillary Clinton's email and Hulk Hogan now and Bill Cosby and Deflategate and all of these things. And the one thing that I find in common in all of this is that in all of these situations, there is somebody who knew something that could have done something. Yeah. And it begs the question of how, people who are going against what they morally think and they morally feel in order to keep their jobs. Yeah. And so I thought that you would be a great person to talk about how do you keep your faith in the face of sometimes losing, doing things that are against what you would normally do to keep your job. If you have been in one of those situations, I invite you to give us a call and talk to James at 888-550-9105. How do you keep your moral fiber intact and toe the company line? My mom worked for Chrysler for a number of years, and she was the first African-American woman in management. And there was a seatbelt recall. Well, it hadn't gotten to a recall yet, but they had found out that they were, having problems with these seatbelts. Mm-hmm. And her boss said in a meeting, well, how many people have died?
Wow.
And they said, well, somewhere around 20. Mm-hmm. And he said, okay, well, when it gets to 100, then we'll go back to this.
Wow.
And moved on to the next agenda. And that is when my mother put in her resignation. Very and cool. I think, but she, of 20 people at that table, she was that one person. So let's talk a little bit about that, and how you got to this in the book between your two worlds. Yeah. Do you find that a lot of these problems are happening is because we are so afraid of staying on our moral path? And losing our jobs, that we are allowing, the kind of things that we're seeing happening in corporations, etc., happen.
Yeah, I mean, and shout out to your moms. I'll be honest with you. I think it has to do with identity. First and foremost, I think she knew her identity and knew that was not parallel with her character or her personality. And so, in the corporate world, it's extremely important in any setting, in any fashion of any kind of business, to know our identity, to know who we are, and in a sense, as far as the book is concerned, what we were created for. And I think once we have a strong foundation as to our identity, then how we take life and how life comes at us and how we respond to it should be according. You know what I mean? In corporate America, is going to be many things asked of us to do, situations, decisions that we have to make. But at the end of the day, it has everything to do with us knowing why we are here and not compromising. And we can put beliefs aside for right now, just our identity. And who we are and who we were created to be.
Yeah, because there's so many things that have been, done by corporations in the name of teamwork.
Right.
Some really, really terrible things in the world.
Right.
And then later you hear, oh, well, this CEO jumped out of the window, and this one went home and killed all his children. And I mean, just some really horrible things that come from just what you said, not being, and if you're in middle management right now and you're trying to move your way up and you've seen this happen, how do you counsel people in your line of work that are, challenged by what they are doing to make money?
Well, it's a great point that you just make, and kind of piggybacking off what I said about identity. If your identity is tied into a dollar amount or the success of a corporation, if and when it goes down, you're probably going to go down with it.
Right.
As opposed to this being somewhat of a pit stop throughout your life, some larger than others, some longer than others, but just a stop, a stepping stone to help you reach the top of the staircase. A lot of people, in a sense, get comfortable with the bottom of the staircase because they're one step above where they were, but lose sight of the fact that they were created to get to the top of that staircase, which essentially puts them at another level in life. So, you know what I'm saying?
So you want to take that? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I heard the...
Hey.
I heard Michelle come in. We had to take a break. Do you want us to take a break? We'll take a break. And we'll be back on the other side. We're talking to James Oyola.
Yes.
Get out of your own way. Oh.